Hello and welcome to Next Steps for Seniors, Conversations on Aging. I'm your host, Wendy Jones, and our topic today is immune defense. And, we all get sick, things happen. We're not in a perfect world, unfortunately. But when we are sick, what do we do about it? Right? A lot of times we go to the doctor or we try to drink more water, take our vitamins. But we have an expert in our studio today, and her name is Mallory Kapp, and she is from Michigan Immune Defense. She is the founder, and it's all about hydration. It's all
Yes.
about taking care of your body. It's all about being healthy. And if you know that out of a 200 participant study through the Health and Aging, they admitted 30% of the seniors were dehydrated upon admission, a huge issue in our elderly population. And that's why she's here today. So hello, Mallory. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here and talk.
I'm excited that you started this company. Good for you. You saw a need and you said we need to do something about this.
Absolutely. I have been a nurse for a long, long time in the traditional, traditional healthcare system. And I saw a need of reaching out to people on the preventative side of wellness versus just after they get sick. Too many of us react. We need to be a little more proactive.
Yes, I am with you 100% on that. Let's avoid it. If we can. I mean, obviously things happen, but if there's something we can be doing to avoid sickness in advance, let's be proactive.
Absolutely. I mean, our bodies are meant to heal themselves. So if we can give our bodies what they need, I truly believe that we can prevent a lot of things from happening, a lot of chronic disease. And then when the chronic disease happens, there's other ways of supporting things as well. But traditional medicine is absolutely there for when it needs to be. But there's a lot of different ways that people aren't familiar with that can support your body naturally.
Well, and it complements it, right? I mean, it's not,
100%.
you don't want to we need a PCP, a primary care physician. You need to get your annual physicals every year, but we also need to have a natural support to our bodies that God created, really.
Absolutely. I am very much, that is what the company is for. We are supportive. We absolutely believe in traditional medicine and what it's there for. And I just find this is a great way of supplementing.
So is it IV therapy? Like, talk to us exactly about IV infusions are and how they work.
Sure. It's very simple. It's just like what you would imagine, when you get an IV at the hospital. But the difference is that we use natural vitamins, amino acids, minerals in our infusions. So not only are we rehydrating, but we're actually supplying the body with the natural nutrients it needs that we don't always get in our food. We don't always get in the supplements that we take. And with our guts in the state that they are, with a lot of inflammation in our guts. And we have a hard time, especially in this country, unfortunately, with actually processing the food that we take. This is the 100% way of getting those nutrients to your cells. So unlike taking a supplement pill, which you could only get maybe 30% of at a time, you get 100% of the vitamins that we offer in our infusions and the hydration.
So when you're taking, for example, any supplement pill, you're saying like a fish oil or anything that we take on vitamin C, we're only getting about 30% of that nutrient into our body when we take a supplement.
That's unfortunately true. Everybody's a little different depending on how well your gut functions. But think about it. We have to process it through our stomach. It has to go through our livers, our GI tract, and our guts are typically inflamed or not functioning at the rate that they should be. So after all of that process of breaking down, we end up only getting about 30%. 30 to maybe a little bit more of what we get. But when you are getting it through the IV, your body is flooded with these nutrients and it goes directly to the cells.
So it's absorbed better, basically.
It's absorbed 100%.
Okay, so yeah.
Groundbreaking.
Common knowledge. Why would everybody not be doing this? Okay, so talk to me about what are the most popular, just out of curiosity. Is it like vitamin C? I mean, everyone knows there's specific immune boosting. What are those?
Right. I mean, antioxidants like vitamin C, B12, a lot of the B vitamins, magnesium, which is one of the most prevalent minerals in our body. Those are all things that are kind of in almost every infusion that we offer. But we can get into some more specialty items too, which a lot of people are familiar with if you're kind of researching this world. NAD is a very popular one. It's called the anti-aging nutrient. We can talk about that for a ton of things. But glutathione's a big one, alpha lipoic acids. So there's
wait.
different
What's
things.
glutathione? I know I've heard that name 1,000 times.
I'm glad you asked. Glutathione is the master antioxidant in our body. So it is the thing that our liver actually naturally produces to take care of inflammation or any type of viral infection, anything that comes into our body that's insulting it and needs to be kind of fought off.
I like that word, insulting. You're insulting my body. Get out.
Right. Yeah. So naturally our body produces all of these things, or we get it from our diet if we're having a good diet. But most of my experience is that we
You seriously just said, who has a good diet? What is a good diet? What does that look like? Vegetables, fruits?
It should, but unfortunately, even some of those aren't as nutrient dense as they used to be.
Right.
Which is, again, another, we could drive ourselves crazy trying to eat well, hydrate as much as we should. But the honest truth is it's just hard. It's hard in this day and age. So this is a great way. As I'm reaching for
my glass of water while she's talking about hydration.
Right. So this is a phenomenal way to make up for where we lack in a lot of different areas.
100% agree. 100% agree. So how does it work? Like when someone comes in to just kind of walk us through the process, I think people might be like fearful of going for an IV. So you're a nurse, right, and I'm assuming you do the IVs.
Yes, absolutely.
So you've done them 1,000 times.
Yes, I was an ICU nurse before this. So, and everyone who I have on my team are all very experienced. The process is very simple. You come in, we use a needle to access your vein, but then the needle comes out and all we leave is a plastic catheter in your arm. So a lot of people aren't familiar with that. And then we have the bag of infusion, or the bag of nutrients and fluid already prepared for you. So you sit there and you get the infusion, and then we take it out and it's done. It's actually very simple.
How soon after an IV do people notice the difference?
Everybody's a little bit different. I have some people walking out feeling great, and then I have other people the next day or the day after feeling different. So it's always a little bit. It varies from person to person. And it also varies with the type of infusion you get as well. So.
Okay. So it takes about how long?
Oh, the whole entire process, you'll be out within an hour.
Oh my goodness. Mm-hmm. Okay. So you get all this hydration or all these vitamins, minerals, and it's going 100% absorbed into your body. Yep. Like instantaneously. And so the only downside that I'm sensing at this point is it's probably not free.
As with all things in life, right? There is a price. Unfortunately, yes, there is a cost that comes to it. A lot of insurances don't cover it. Let's just call that out as we need to. But we do accept different types of things like health savings accounts and things like that.
Well, HSA is huge. And a lot of people do have that with their organizations or companies they work with.
A lot of people do. And it's accepted 100%. Okay. So it's really a great
So it's
thing.
Out of pocket.
Out of pocket.
Yeah. So Medicare or Medicaid do not cover this type of additional supplementation or benefit to your body.
Right.
And my next question would be like, how do you know if you're going to a good place? Like people listening to the program might not be here locally. How is there something to look for? I mean, is there some type of certification? Like, what do people look for in what you do?
I love that question. There is no official certification, but what you really want to make sure is that all of the practitioners at the company are, registered nurses, paramedics, licensed professionals. There should be, they should be getting all of their nutrients from actual 503B pharmacy, compounding pharmacies. And some of these things you might not know by just looking at their website. We even take it one step further. We actually mix all of our infusions in a pharmaceutical grade hood. So we're using a clean room for sterility to keep all of our infusions mixed very well. So not all companies are creative equal. So I'm glad you asked. I think the biggest thing is to just find a company that's focused on your health versus just the trend of the day.
Isn't that interesting? Because I am noticing IV therapy clinics popping up everywhere.
Right.
And it's like, ooh, is that safe? Is that good? Like, how do I know?
Right. Yeah. On one hand, it's great. The normalization of it is fantastic. But there's a huge difference in range of different companies. So
do your research. Now, your organization is mobile. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. We absolutely go into people's homes. I've gone to people's businesses, and I've even seen people in nursing facilities. So a lot of us, we're talking about some of our elderly population who can't get out and about.
It's just not as easy.
It's not as easy, but it's easy for us. It's very easy for us to get to you. So we can come, bring all of our stuff. The appointment still takes about the same amount of time.
Absolutely. So you get in your little mobile device, you go to them, you bring everything into them, or do they
Mhm.
come out to the?
Nope, we bring
Okay.
everything right. I mean, you can be in bed and we can give you an
Oh
infusion.
my goodness.
Yes. And I've done that before at nursing facilities for, as we age, it might be harder to it is harder for people to get their nutrients that they need, the energy they need. So this is a great supplement.
And a big energy one is B, correct? Your B
Correct.
vitamins?
Yeah. B12 especially, but yes.
Okay. And how
Mhm.
frequently can you get B12? Like, can you do an IV every month?
You could actually do it every week if you needed to. My recommendation for most people is monthly. I think that's very adequate. So,
Okay. Okay. Share your phone number really quick with our listeners if you would.
absolutely. It's 248-313-4455.
Okay. So we'll be back in a few minutes. We're going to talk more about the different types of IVs that are out there, what they do for your body, and how they can benefit you. You're listening to Next Steps for Seniors Conversations on Aging. Hello, and welcome to Next Steps for Seniors Conversations on Aging. I'm your host, Wendy Jones. And as you know, in our first segment, we were talking about immune defense. And what happens to our bodies as we age is, illnesses come, symptoms come, we get diagnosed with something, and we all go right to our primary care physician, which we should. But there's another option. There's a natural, holistic option to walk alongside the medical option, and that is why our topic is immune defense. And we have the founder, Mallory Kapp, in our studio today, and I'm so grateful to have her because she's a wealth of knowledge, and this is information we just want to educate you on.
Absolutely.
Do your research. We want you to understand what the options are. We want you to go to your physician first. We believe that is the most important thing, but we also want to share with you information that may be beneficial in situations. So my next question, Mallory, to you would be, what common concerns in older adults can these IV therapies help address? Like fatigue, what are some of the symptoms? If someone's listening to the program right now, they're like, oh, that's me.
That's me. It's a great question. And there's definitely a multitude of different things, but energy seems to be one of the biggest ones that we can really help with. So that chronic fatigue, we're really strong with helping with that. We also actually can help with brain clarity. So that brain fog that kind of comes as
Okay,
we
that's
age.
everybody. I don't
Right.
know.
It's everybody, but it can also come as we age. So there's actually some inflammation in your brain that we can help reduce and help with, mental clarity. And the other thing I think a lot of people forget is immune defense, our topic, right? Is we can boost the immune system naturally, and we can really, really, really help when people have either chronically low immune systems, active immune systems, or chronic infections. So a lot of our elderly adults, those hit them harder, right? So if they have infections or they're hospitalized more often and they're getting antibiotics, those are things that we can help re-support their body with naturally.
Well, interesting. This is a true story. My son
Hmm.
watches TikTok, not me, but on TikTok, somebody sent me a video and it said anybody in the hospital that is elderly should be on glutathione. What is it called?
Glutathione.
Okay. And I was like, okay, what is this guy talking about? So I Googled, as we all do. We think that Google has the answer to everything. So,
Of course.
and that's why you're here, because you really have the answer. But the reality is, there is something in glutathione that could help people that are in the hospital.
Right.
Can you explain what that is and how that helps?
Absolutely. And I think there's multiple vitamins that our patients in the hospital should be getting while they're there. We even talked about that while I was working during COVID. We should have been putting our patients on vitamin D, vitamin C. I digress with that. But glutathione is the master antioxidant of our body. So we actually create it naturally, and we can also get some from supplements and food. But what it does is it helps kick out the toxic things in our body. So it helps our liver detox our body, which is super, super important. And it's as an antioxidant, it's creating an environment that destroys the harmful things that come into our body. So whether that's pathogens, inflammation from toxic food, it is the main thing that will help our bodies get rid of that naturally. And fun fact, Tylenol actually blocks the natural production of glutathione. So when we take Tylenol for a cold or a flu or a fever, sometimes we are actually doing the opposite of what our body needs because it's blocking our natural production of our master antioxidant.
Well, and there's this new arthritis Tylenol that I just saw recently for the elderly. And you're right. Like, why would we be blocking that?
Well,
People don't know. We just
people
don't
don't know,
know.
right? Yeah, people don't know, and again, we're here to supplement traditional medicine, and we're not saying that that is not right for every client. It could be right for every client, for certain clients, but in the case, especially of illness, active illness, it's actually better to take something like glutathione or to let your body naturally fight off a fever rather than put
Take something for it.
right.
I'm so with you on that. I know most of the people listening to this program know that about me, but I have this healthy balance, right?
Same.
Because your body's going through it for a reason, right? And we need to let our own immune system fight things off. If we keep suppressing it, we don't even know that we're sick, right? We just keep
Right.
taking something for it. And the reality is, I want my immune system to be strong.
Absolutely. We're actually doing it a disservice in the sense that we're not helping it learn what it needs to learn. So I think, again, with everything, antibiotics, Tylenol, so there are
Balance.
times for everything.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. But I think that we can really support the body more long term with natural products as well. Natural.
So, do you mix stuff with glutathione, like vitamin C, for a separate boost of that, or how does that work?
Actually, so we like glutathione so much, it actually comes in every single one of our infusions. It's pushed separately. We don't actually mix it in the bag, but
Oh,
that's for me to know. Nobody else needs
you
to
to
worry
find out.
about that. Yeah. But yes, vitamin C, B vitamins, those are in every single infusion. So we have, in addition to glutathione, many different ways of kind of boosting the immune system and helping with energy, decreasing inflammation, all sorts of different things.
So tell us about those. What the hottest topics are. What are your biggest three IVs? I guess.
That's a great question. Well, the name of my company is Immune Defense, and we have an immune defense infusion, which is created exactly for that. It's for boosting the immune system. So it's for that person who was just exposed to somebody, for that person who was just hospitalized, even people pre-travel or post-travel. A lot of people forget that, that's a great time that our bodies run down. So immune defense is the biggest one. We have a signature infusion, which has everything that we offer in one bag, basically, which is a great way to kind of get all of the benefits of our infusions. And I would say the next most popular is probably our performance infusion, which is specifically for people to gain energy and have mental clarity.
Okay.
So those are the big three.
And can we just give an average of price point? I mean, is it
Yeah,
like
absolutely. It starts at $199 and then it goes up from there. So $249 is our average cost for an infusion.
okay?
But we do memberships, packages, discounts.
Right,
So
right, right. And you come to them.
we can come to them.
Do you
And
have an office they can go to if they want to?
we do. We actually do something a little different where we partner with people with different companies across the cities to allow us to have bigger reach. We didn't want to just be pigeonholed into one area. So we, for example, in Troy we have a beautiful room inside of a yoga studio. So that complements our services. So we offer yoga, which is wonderful to keep the elderly population moving. They have massage there, they have red light therapy, and then we're inside. So
Okay.
we have Troy, Grosse Pointe, and then we do mobile as well.
Okay, I love this. And if you're listening online or remote in another state, please do your research on which
Please.
we talked about in the first segment. I have one more question before we close. Medical oversight. Do you
Mm-hmm.
provide any medical oversight?
Absolutely. So first and foremost, as a registered nurse, I have to work with a physician. So I do have a physician on my team, and that is something that also should be looked at in a company. But in addition to that, I have a wonderful nurse practitioner who's on my team who helps with every single client. So every new client will receive a telehealth call from her, and she will review your medications, your supplements, your health history, make sure that you're a candidate for what our services are for, and also help us decide what is the best therapy for you. And the great thing is she's also available for telehealth or in-person appointments at any time. She can write prescriptions. She's phenomenal. She has over I don't even know, 40 years of experience. She's fantastic.
What could be something that would avoid you from getting an IV? What is she looking for? Just out of
That's a great
curiosity.
question. So, somebody who has congestive heart failure or chronic renal kidney failure, the extra fluid would be contraindication indicated in that case because we don't want to overload the heart, overload the kidneys with too much fluid. But we have other options. We have injections that we can do in the muscle for people. We have great oral supplements too if we have to. Obviously, our first choice is always infusion, but we have to be careful, and everybody's different. So we have to make sure that we're checking it at all the boxes in everybody's history.
Okay, so we're going to give her number again. So everybody grab a piece of paper and pencil. But while you're doing that, I want you to go over again what to look for. Please let it make sure there's a physician oversight,
Physician oversight,
that you have a registered nurse that's administering the IV,
right? Paramedics are also
or
qualified,
paramedics. Yep. Okay.
but registered nurse. And then you really want to look for two other things. You want the quality of the vitamins that have to be coming from a well-sourced compounding pharmacy. It should be mixed in a medical grade hood like what we do. And then also, we put the amount in each bag that's really therapeutic. So, some places are giving lower doses, less ingredients. We're always
Because it would
giving
be
you.
less expensive for them to do that and
It,
charge more.
it would be.
So be careful. Okay. So
Yes.
so this is why you're here. This is why we're listening. And we want to be educated. You want to ask these questions. Don't just go to some fly by night place and have them stick an IV in your arm and think that you're going to get better, because there's a lot of things that go with that.
And I have testimonials to prove that.
Okay. Share your phone number, please.
Sure. Our phone number is 248 313 4455.
And is there a website or anywhere else to get a hold of you?
Yes, our website is the name of the company. So it's www.michiganimmunedefense.com.
Absolutely fantastic. Thank you for being here, Mallory. Thank you for caring about this. This is a huge part. We need to take our health into our own hands. We need to advocate for ourselves and our loved ones, and we need to be educated on how to do that. So we appreciate you. You're listening to
Amen.
Next Steps for Seniors, Conversations on Aging.